Hi! So today I'm going to be showing you how to create an aesthetic looking video using just your iPhone. And you can apply this to any kind of video that you want to make. So whether if it's long form, whether if it's short form, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, whatever it is, you can definitely apply all of these tips to any kind of video. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you me filming with my iPhone, and then I'm going to apply those tips. We're going to go ahead and edit it, and then we will see the final results at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So my first tip is to follow the framing rule of thirds. Now the rule of thirds is basically a grid or a guideline that pops up on your screen. You can actually enable it on your phone, which I will show you in just a second, but this helps with placing your objects or subjects somewhere specific in your video. So yes, you can be dead center, but if you're right in the center of your video, what's important to follow is that your shoulders are following the lower thirds, and then maybe your eyes, or like in between your eyes and nose, follows the upper thirds. And so that prevents you from having too much headroom, and then that prevents you from just looking awkward in your frame. So that is more for talking head videos, or maybe if you're filming someone else, you can apply that. But if you're trying to apply that to more general videos where you're just like maybe filming like an establishment, or maybe your coffee, still following those rule of thirds is going to help with making the frame look so professional. It's really, really useful. So I will show you how to turn on the grid on your iPhone. To enable the grid on your iPhone, all you have to do is go to your settings, scroll down to camera, and then under the composition section, there is a grid you can toggle on, and then there's a level that you can toggle on as well. Then when you go ahead and open up your camera, you can go ahead and actually see the grid is enabled. My second tip is that lighting is everything. Lighting really brings out the quality in your video, and I've seen so many videos where the potential was there, but the lighting was not good. It was too dim, or you just like couldn't see all of the details of the shot just because the lighting wasn't at its best. So that's why lighting is super important. And I'm also going to show you what this setup would look like without the right lighting, any lighting on at all. Okay, so this is what it looks like without any lighting on at all, not even my window. And I'm going to show you what it looks like with my window open. Okay, so this is what it looks like with my window open, and it still doesn't look the best, but it's still better than no lighting. If you don't have a lighting kit or anything like that, what you could do is you can film closer to the window with the window on this side of you so that it looks a lot better and it illuminates your face a lot better. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when I close my window and then I turn on my lighting kit. So this is what it looks like with my lighting kit. I'm definitely the object, like the focal point is me. You can see me very clearly, and it separates me from the background. And then this is where I would start adding accent lighting. So I have a light in the back, and then I also have a lamp over here that I typically do use for my videos, but I'm gonna see what it looks like with just that background lamp on. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Okay, so this is what it looks like with just that lamp on, and then I'll show you with this lamp on as well. And this is what it looks like. This is my whole setup. I have the lighting kit, I have the accent lights on, and I feel like there's just so much more vibrance to my video now that I've turned everything on. So this is the difference between the different lighting sources that you have. So you can have a lighting kit, you can have accent lighting, or you can utilize the natural lighting from your window. And don't be afraid to use natural lighting, but also don't be afraid to use a lighting kit. A lot of people feel like since they don't have a lighting kit, they can't film, and that's not true at all. You can definitely utilize the sun, the natural sun coming into your window. This is what it would look like with the natural sunlight coming in. I have the window at an angle to my face, and so I feel like it illuminates me very well. And then if I were to close it, and if I didn't have access to natural sunlight, then this is what it would look like. So in this case, let's say it's dark outside but I want to film, or if, you know, maybe it's super cloudy and it's like not the best lighting, or maybe, you know, whatever, you don't have natural sunlight, then I would use a lighting kit. But you can use natural lighting, it's just you have to know how to use it for your videos, and that is going to be allowing the natural sunlight to hit this angle of your face, or the other side, but as long as it's at an angle. So this is what it looks like. I think it looks really good. This is the lighting kit that I use. It comes with 2 softbox lamps, and you can actually do warm lighting and daylight lighting, which I love. It's actually available, linked down below in my description. But this is what I use to basically illuminate myself during my talking head videos. My third tip is to get a variety of shots. This is going to change the game up for you, because I see a lot of new creators tend to get maybe like a 1 shot and then they edit it up and then put in a bunch of stock videos. What makes a video even more interesting is if you have a variety of different shots. So what I mean by that is you want to film something happen multiple times in different angles. So you have your long shot. So a long shot typically shows you like the setting of a place. For example, like in reality shows, they show the location of somewhere. That can be considered a long shot or just an establishing shot. Another example of a long shot is maybe somebody filming themselves walking into a store. They set up their tripod and then they film themselves walking into the store or walking down the aisle. That's a long shot. That's basically like showing your subject in a space. And then you have a medium shot, which is right here. So medium shots are really good for talking head videos. They're good for showing like an action or something happening or showing a conversation. And then a close-up is showing the details of something. So when you're filming, let's take an example of like, let's say a mom. Let's say we're using a mom for an example. You can get a shot of the mom in the kitchen. You can get a medium shot of the mom stirring the pot. And then you can get a close-up shot of the noodles boiling. So those are 3 different types of shots happening, basically showing like something happening all at once, if that makes sense. So one thing is happening, the mom is cooking. So that is what's happening. And then the 3 shots are her in the kitchen, her stirring the pot, and then the noodles boiling. So you want to get a variety of shots because it makes the storyline or just it makes your video more interesting. Even if you're just creating talking head videos, what will make it even more interesting is having B-roll of what you're talking about. So after you filmed an entire video, like right now, I'm filming an entire video in 1 shot and I'm talking the whole time. But after this, I'm going to go and record different actions, me doing different things that correlates with what I'm talking about. The variety of shots will make your video way more interesting, and it's easier to edit in. I feel like a lot of creators stress out way too much about pop-up graphics and text and all this stuff when you can simply just record videos of you doing what you're saying in your video and then just putting it over. Even that makes it super interesting. My 4th tip is to focus on singular movement. When you're recording, there should only be one thing that's moving. What I mean by that is either there's something like an object or a person that's moving in your video, or the object is still and the background is moving. So I will give you a couple of examples. Like right now, I'm doing a talking head video. Everything is still, but the only thing that's moving is me, my arms. I'm like moving around. And with a still shot, imagine if this camera was moving, I had a cameraman and he was moving while I was moving. That would be too much movement. It would make it look amateurish. I don't know. I get motion sickness with those kind of videos. So I would be very mindful of that. When you're out and you're filming, or if you're filming at home, it's always important to have a tripod or to place your camera down somewhere if you are the one that's moving or if you're trying to capture movement in your video. So that's what I mean by singular movement, just one thing moving. Let's say you're doing a vlog and you're doing a selfie video. What's really important is one, following the rule of thirds. So if you want to be dead center, make sure you stay in the center of your video, aka the singular movement that's happening in this video is going to be your background moving. So the reason why I say this is because if you're moving while the background is moving, it makes the shot so unstable. If you are still in your video, let's say you're dead in the center, and even if you're recording with your arm, no matter what, you're still in the center as much as possible and your background is moving, like if you're trying to show your hotel room, or if you're trying to show your kitchen, or if you're trying to show yourself in the store, as long as you're in the center and you're not moving from that center, I think it's completely fine. And it makes the video interesting as well because the background's moving, you're showing things, and then it doesn't make it like a dizzy experience because you're not moving at the same time. So to simplify it, you either want the subject to be the thing that's moving or you want the background to be what's moving. My 5th tip is to keep a consistent look and feel. So typically when I watch an aesthetic video, the entire video usually usually has a type of mood or has some type of color scheme, or everything is just very cohesive and matches. So if you see like a moody gym video and it's a compilation of different like workouts, but it moves fast, I noticed that the entire video will be moody. It's not just one shot is moody, the next one is like very bright, the next one is all colorful. So it's not like that. It's very cohesive during the entire experience. I noticed that when I keep my exposure the same throughout my entire video, like for example, -1.3, if I keep it that exposure the entire video and I put it together, it looks so cohesive that it makes it look so aesthetic. And it could even be shaky shots. It could even be shots that aren't even like where my space isn't even clean. But because of the exposure and the cohesiveness and the consistency of the entire video, it makes it look like 10% or 20% more aesthetic. Actually, most of the time, it makes it look very aesthetic, and I'll show you examples. And these videos, I consider them aesthetic, but all I did was change the exposure and move slowly. I had one moving part in my video. I made sure that the exposure is the same throughout the entire thing, and I made sure I had good lighting. So with all these tips in mind while I was filming, it made the look of the video seem a lot more aesthetic. So with all these tips in mind, we're gonna go ahead and film a quick video, and then we're gonna hop into CapCut, which is a free editing software that you can use on desktop or on your phone, and then we're gonna go ahead and edit it. But I will go ahead and show you how to edit it on your phone so that you don't necessarily have to have a computer to edit it. And also, if you enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get to filming. Let's take my room, for example. We're gonna go ahead and make an aesthetic video with my room, and we're gonna go ahead and apply all of the tips that I just shared. So you see that I have my grid on. I have lines going across and up and down, and I'm gonna use that as a guideline. So I wanna go ahead and basically film my desk, do a pan from left to right. And during that process, you can see the line in the center right here. You can see how it allows you to figure out where you're most stable. So right here would be stable. I'm gonna line up this product right here. This is my like desk lift, to match it with the grid on my phone. And then what I'm gonna do is I wanna make sure that that line stays connected to that line as I go back and forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and record this, and I'm gonna slowly go side to side. Now it's not always gonna be perfect, and one thing is that you can actually turn on stabilization on your phone, and then it'll help with keeping these shots smooth. What I can do here is kind of do this and then kind of zoom out, do that kind of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and record that. Maybe another shot where it's going side to side, but I want to do it at an angle, and I want to get something in my foreground. So I'm going to use my plant as that foreground. I'm just going to use this just to create some depth. And you can see that it automatically focuses onto my desk. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that this is kind of like on my screen, and then make sure the background is focused. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pan from left to right. I can also get maybe a medium shot of me typing. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it around here. And I'm not sure, so I can't see the display. I can't see what it looks like, but I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully this is a medium shot, but let me go ahead and record it, put it down. Okay, so then from here, I am going to do a close-up of me typing, and I'm gonna make sure my line matches up with this line. So my keyboard is going to lie parallel or right on top of that grid line right here. And then I can either have it right in the center. Yeah, I'll do that right in the center. So it's like my fingers are hitting the rule of thirds. I'm gonna go ahead and record, and then I'm gonna type. What I can do here is I can do like a peak and then disappear type thing. So I can do this and record. Okay. I can have my phone still and then I can move the mouse with my hand. So then what's still is the phone, and then what's the moving part is the mouse. I make sure that it's lined up on my rule of thirds. I can do one of these where I just pan to the side and I'm in the center as well. I want to show myself, and then the rule of thirds. So I'm gonna allow the top line to line up with the top shelf, and then I'm gonna start and end on the rule of thirds right here. I'm gonna go ahead and film a few more shots, and then I'll show you as I'm editing it, kind of like the idea, putting it together, how that's gonna look, and we're gonna make sure it looks aesthetic. What you'll do is go to CapCut, and then you'll hit New Project at the top, and then you're gonna go ahead and select all of the videos that you want to incorporate in your edit. What I like to do is I like to select it based on the order that I want to actually have it in the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and select it in order from how I would like it. Okay, so now that I've selected it in order, I'm gonna go ahead and hit add at the bottom. And so now you have all of your footage basically in the order that you've added it in. So what I like to do is I like to add audio first before I begin editing. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit add audio, and then I'm gonna go to sounds and then see if I can find something that is that matches the vibe that I'm trying to give. And so what I'm trying to aim for is something cozy and relaxing. Okay, I'm gonna go for this track right here. What I'm going to do is select the audio, and in the bottom, I'm gonna go ahead and scroll until it says beats, and I'll hit that. So what you can do is hit auto generate, and CapCut will automatically show you where the beats are hitting, and then you can actually add in more beats or delete them however you'd like. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Okay, so I think that's fine. I personally would go through and delete these beats because this is going to play a role in me editing. So I'm going to go ahead and delete in between. And then right here is where I want to stop it. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the check mark in the bottom right corner. And then I know that I want the video to end here. So I'm going to put the white line that's going up and down on my screen. I'm going to lay it over this beat and then make sure that the audio is selected. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit split at the bottom and then delete the right side of the track. So now that I have that all organized, what I'm going to go do is I'm going to put the white line over each beat, select the video on top of it, and then hit split. And then I'm going to delete the right side of the video. So delete, I'm gonna go to the next beat, select the video, split it, and then delete the right side. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing over and over again. Actually, I'm going to select what part I want this to show. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit the video, and then I can split it wherever I want it to show, and then delete the ends on both sides. Okay, so I don't have enough song for the footage, so I can either do one or two things. I can either extend the music out, or I can delete clips and then reorganize them. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and extend it out, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then I can actually go back to the audio and hit beats, and then I could adjust it how I would like it. And then we'll go ahead and continue on, but I don't want this part of the video. I would like it to be more later on in this clip, so I'm gonna go ahead and split that up, delete the ends, and then make sure it matches with the beat. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and delete the CapCut credit at the end, and then I'll delete this last part of the song just by holding the end of it and then dragging it in. And then what you can do, so if you import your videos and they have sound, you can either mute the video entirely by hitting this mute clip audio on the left hand side, or you can go individually to the clips that you don't want the sound from. And let's say, for example, like this one, you can go ahead and scroll and then hit volume, and then you can adjust the loudness of it. So we're going to go ahead and watch it through. Okay, so that clip, I want to adjust it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend it out. And then I remember in this part, I'm coming to the desk to sit down. So what I'm going to do is clip the part where I'm about to sit down, or moving the chair at least. And then I'll delete the first part. And then I do want to get the part where I'm sitting down, so I'm going to go ahead and extend this out and bring this in to match that beat. So then it'll look like that. Okay, so just making sure it hits every single beat from in the video itself. And once you have your final video, you're going to go ahead and hit 1080p in the top right corner. And then you're going to adjust your settings however you filmed. So I filmed on my phone at 4K for 30 frames per second. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to leave the code rate at recommended. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn off Smart HDR. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the arrow up in the top right corner to export it. So we're going to go ahead and review it. If you want to know about the free or inexpensive gear, tools, and products that I use for my content creation journey, I have a free YouTube starter kit that you can actually download in my description below. Go ahead and check that out. Again, it is free. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and then go ahead and click on the video on the screen, and I will see you there. Bye.